I just want to say thank you to everyone who has given us their support. You're the one! I do agree that maybe we got a little out of control. Cody, wake up! A little excited and stuff because we're having fun. And we're in the moment. What is even happening? I'm really appreciative to everyone who sees me and my family, this channel, for what it really is. And not for what people edit it up to be.
It's officially the holiday season, boys and girls. Thanksgiving has passed and I am still alive, contrary to some Twitter posts. Time to talk about the most festive topic in the world, being... Oh, perfect. One of the biggest controversies on YouTube and on the internet as a whole towards the beginning of last year was that of Daddyofive, a YouTube vlogging channel dedicated to a family living in West Virginia, and all of the antics that would occur within said family. Now, maybe on the surface this may seem like a somewhat dysfunctional comedic channel about a family, almost like a vlog in the form of a sitcom, with parents playing pranks on their kids, kids playing pranks on their parents, and all sorts of hijinks would ensue. But when you actually took a moment to look at the videos, it became clear to a lot of people that there was a lot more going on with this family than the surface would indicate.
Get your fucking ass up here! What the fuck?
What did you do?
What the fuck? Do that!
What is even happening?
I can't move! Don't blame me for something I didn't do! I hate him! No!
No! Get out of my chair! Stop it!
These clips ended up getting Mike and Heather Martin, the parental guardians of all these children, in some very hot water. For a few weeks, this was the biggest trending topic in the YouTube community, with hundreds of people making videos on the situation and calling out the parents, particularly Mike, for his abusive behavior and the suffering that he was putting these children through. One of the biggest channels to break the story was Philip De Franco.
And so that first story we're going to talk about today is about a family that has garnered a lot of negative attention in the past week. And that's a family that's been sharing their lives on a YouTube channel by the name of Daddyofive,
showing all of the clips of abuse in full so that people could get a better idea of what was going on, with the issue even receiving mainstream attention from news sources on television.
The videos caused a firestorm.
Cody!
Tell me! I didn't do that!
Parents pulling pranks on their kids, screaming at them, causing them to cry hysterically. And the videos racked up millions of views.
Hundreds of articles, and at the time it felt like everyone was talking about the situation, all of which was really set into motion by Phil himself, which Mike seems to acknowledge, to say the least, in their initial video addressing the accusations of abuse and child harm.
It would have never got this out of hand if it wasn't for that De Franco guy.
Way to pass off blame for your actions, Mike. This video was soon privated on their channel, however, along with all of their videos, and all was silent for a few days before the Martins posted their second and final video on the Daddyofive channel, which felt very manufactured, and it was clear that they had hired some sort of public relations team to do the work for them.
During this week, we've had a lot of time to stand back, to jump out of character, and to see what we've done and to see how we've come across, and I understand how everyone feels.
Overall, the apology felt very disingenuous and fake, and it was clear that neither of the parents really believed any of what they were saying and were just trying to save face and not be further crucified by the media. Soon it made the news that Mike and Heather had lost custody of one of the children, Cody, who, if you remember, was the red-haired boy who had suffered most of the abuse by their hands, being the butt of most of their so-called pranks, bro, and being relentlessly mocked and ridiculed by his parents on a daily basis. They told him he was going up for adoption because they all hated him multiple times, shoved him into furniture. Overall, it was just not a good situation. Pretty horrible shit that they were being put through. But pretty quickly, all of the media attention died down, which begs the question, what happened to Daddyofive? Well, today I'm setting out to answer that question, more or less. Delving deeper, episode dos, let's go. As stated on their Wikitubia page, which is obviously the most reliable source for information about YouTubers, both of their main channels, being Daddyofive and Familyofive, were terminated. Since the fall of Daddyofive and the deletion of all of the videos on it, Mike and Heather have created a number of smaller venues on the internet to try and rise out of the ashes of their abuse, and try to make something out of whatever small number of fans are still around. And fan channels and multiple fan Twitter accounts have also popped up in the wake of this termination. These guys are like cockroaches. No matter how many times you step on them, they keep coming back and back and back over and over again.
What's up, Team DO5? So, It snowed outside.
One of the places that is still around is the Team Daddyofive Fans channel, a fan channel dedicated to a variety of videos ranging in style from Cooking with Dad, Duck Egg Sandwich,
My most favorite is breakfast. It is the duck.
Fuck duck. I prefer chicken.
to Cute Kid Sings in Tub, TBT. Yeah, needless to say, this one's a little fucking weird.
Cold, my feet is warm. Look, my feet is hot. My feet is cold.
I mean, he's literally just invading this kid's privacy by filming him fully naked, which is wrong for reasons that I don't even feel the need to explain, and he's singing. Mike, seriously, dude, what is wrong with you, man? You're sick. You're a very sick guy. you need help. One of the most interesting videos on this channel is 25 minutes in length, titled Goodbye YouTube, which is essentially a video where some of the kids of the Daddyofive channel try to gain sympathy from their fans in order to once again regain their mainstream audience, which is something that you'll notice is a common trend on their channel. They have almost like a cult-like grip on their fan base, using an us versus them mentality to encourage their fans to support them in what they're doing. And in a way, they're brainwashing them into believing that what they're doing is just a little roughhousing and some fun played up for the camera, when that's far, far from the truth when you look at the actual videos.
You're the one.
I don't care who you say you are, you cannot get a kid to fake being this genuinely upset and hurt, especially on a consistent basis like they were doing. Honestly, I have a hunch, a bit of a game theory if you will, that this video was created because of the instructions of Mike, the big daddy in the house, because of the sorts of messages being conveyed in it, and the clear desperate attempts to squeeze some more money out of their brand. The nail in the coffin for me really is the sad music that's used during it.
I'm not gonna tell you guys. So,
We got shut down. For nothing.
I don't want to be that insulting, but these kids don't seem intelligent enough to try and emotionally manipulate their fans with sad music. Hell, Mike is even in the video, which only further contributes to my theory. The description of the video, written by a supposed Daddyofive fan, reads, "A message directly from the kids of the Family of Five channel taken down because of hate. The Martin kids have reached out to me, asking me to help them deliver this message. They are heartbroken. Their lives are now ruined over self-righteous people looking for their 5 minutes of fame." Well, people should be questioning the morals of this channel, because everything that happened is pretty fucked up, and I'm sure that some of the people talking about the situation did it because of the promise of views, but most people, including me, also want what's best for kids and for justice to be delivered to the parents. This kind of talk is pretty indicative of how a brainwashed fan, not literally obviously, but someone who has been taken in by the speech of Daddyofive and has some kind of emotional connection to the channel, not sure why, so I won't speculate as to that, but it's pretty obvious that they aren't viewing the situation rationally, considering how they are ignoring all of the actual accusations and clips displaying child abuse, and simply playing off the entire situation as a family having some goofs. This is a pretty common trend actually with the Daddyofive fans. In the comment section of many of their videos, you will see people trying to silence critics of their actions, and calling them nothing but haters, who are jealous of Mike, Heather, and the boys' internet fame. Funnily enough, one day ago, as of the time I'm writing this anyway, a video was posted to the Daddyofive Gaming Instagram account where he said this.
The Martin Boys YouTube channel. I do not own that channel. My name is not on that channel anywhere. Nothing on that channel links back to me in any way, shape, or form.
Oh really, Mike? You have nothing to do with their channel and the Daddyofive brand anymore, is that right? Is that why you still have a website up dedicated to the Family of Five?
Guys, make sure to check out the website tonight, officialfamilyofive.com.
Which has your face right on the front page. Now, I actually encourage you guys to take a look at this website. I'll link it in the description, and I actually had quite a few laughs at it. We have learned many lessons in this journey called life, and we just hope that we can inspire others to know that when you get knocked down or make a bad decision, it's possible to get back up. That just because it's the popular vote doesn't mean it's the truth. And lastly, that you define yourself. No one else can take that power from you. Being different is a gift. Love it and love yourself. It can't rain all the time. I mean, obviously, this is referring to the situation that happened a few months ago, and they're basically... Once again, Mike and Heather refuse to acknowledge any wrongdoing and are just saying that everyone else is haters. I mean, look at this. The popular vote, I mean, unless that's an election thing about Donald Trump, which I highly doubt it is, it's pretty obvious what they're trying to get across here. Honestly, apart from that, this website is pretty boring. I've seen a lot of people making a big deal out of it, but I just thought that little knocked down line was a little just a little too bad to be true. But regardless of what it says on the website, it's clear that Mike is trying to distance himself from the brand publicly and pretend like he's nothing to do with it. Particularly on the technicality of, oh well, I don't own the channel, they're just chasing their dreams. When there is not a doubt in my mind that he helped create this video, especially because the like and dislike counter is turned off on this video, which, honestly, I don't think that a kid would give a shit about. And would you take a look at the pinned comment, something supportive from a fan who refuses to acknowledge that these kids and Mike do not belong on YouTube. This is sick shit. And looking back at the comments from fans on the initial Instagram account, it's clear that the Daddyofive is in full effect, with people encouraging them for spreading positivity and telling them that they should ignore haters and textbook annoying shit like that. Very nice. Something that I'd like to take a look back at is the sort of cult-like grip that Mike has on his small but relatively loyal fan base of, I'd guess, around 40,000 people that have stuck with him and his family throughout all of this. It's pretty surreal to see these people still supporting him despite all of the media backlash, but after doing some research into cults and how odd societies like that work, and how their leaders manage to get so many people involved and indoctrinate them, it's clear that Mike uses many of the same tactics. For example, by frequently causing emotional and physical distress in his videos, combined with the repetition of every video saying that they're a big family and they're all together and they're happy, and every few videos using some sentimental and nostalgic undertones to try and emotionally manipulate his viewers, Mike managed to normalize abuse to his fans. Sure, if you see it once it may shock you at first, but if you're emotionally vulnerable, lonely, and spend all of your time watching Daddyofive videos becoming invested in the lives of this family, then it may come to appear normal to you, and you may not be able to, either consciously or subconsciously, ignore anyone who points out the abuse and excuse it as just fatherly love and roughhousing getting a little out of hand. Additionally, as I mentioned before, the use of the us versus them mentality encourages fans and makes it seem like they're a part of a group fighting the rest of the world, who are simply, in their eyes, acting morally righteous and jealous of the success of the family's channel and being aggravated at the fans themselves. Notice how in Mike's first video addressing the controversy, he makes various accusations and attempts to redirect any blame towards people like Philip De Franco, as well as saying that his family is in danger because of the accusations being thrown at him and Heather.
And someone had some interview with the kid's biological mother, and, you know, it broke me down because they said, we have their real mother.
It would have never got this out of hand if it wasn't for that De Franco guy starting all of this, doing all of this to my family. He's responsible for this.
Another thing that you'll notice is that he's constantly thanking his fans and supporting them and calling them the real Daddyofive family, praising them for sticking with him, watching his videos, and supporting his work.
We just wanted to make videos for you guys.
And we truly appreciate the love and support that you guys are real fans.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who has given us their support, and it means the world to us.
And while on the surface this may seem relatively innocent and simply like a creator thanking his fans for supporting his work on a more personal level, I think that it has had much different intentions pretty much the entire time. Personally, it's pretty obvious to me that Mike is trying to emotionally manipulate his fans into feeling like they are special and that they are part of something greater, and all of a sudden, these evil fans and Philip De Franco are trying to take it away from them. So pay for our shitty subscription service for more abuse vlogs and tell those evil, envious haters to back off or face the wrath of this man. Nerd City actually made a video going more in depth with the mentalities of some of these sick and twisted fans and addressing how many of them were abused as children and have been arrested for child abuse themselves, hence why many of them are so loyal and appreciative of Mike's work, because they're a little bit fucked up. Obviously, this doesn't account for every fan, but it's pretty safe to say that a decent amount of the remaining Daddyofive fanbase are pretty sick individuals who like seeing kids like Cody go through psychological and physical abuse. I mean, is it really that far of a stretch considering how these people were operating their channel? Additionally, shortly after the situation initially fizzled out and Cody was brought back to the custody of his biological mother, an interview with her and her lawyer was posted online with an update on the situation, which revealed a bit more about how the parents manipulated Cody into this mentality of thinking that he had nowhere else to go and that his mother hated him.
That Mike and Heather told him I threw him away like he was garbage and I didn't love him no more.
If that's true, which to me this mother has no real reason to lie and she just wants her kid back, so I'm going under the impression that it is true, then Mike and Heather are clearly two very, very sick individuals. Clearly Cody shouldn't have been with them, clearly their abuse was taking a toll on him, and according to the mother herself, Heather had gotten custody of Cody illegally in the first place, and well, that's why all of this happened in the end. Not to mention that they encourage their fans to block the haters, yo! As well as trying to prove that they didn't abuse their children by asking their children.
Was anybody traumatized?
No! Well, I don't even know what that word means, but yes, no. I was, Mom. I was.
No, I wasn't.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. Something that has come up to me as of recent, and something I pondered a lot while doing more research for this video, is the question of whether or not it is ethical to keep watching their videos now, or watch their videos at all. Oftentimes someone will bring up the argument relating to content versus creator, and how it is okay, meaning morally sound, to enjoy the art of someone who is morally questionable. Personally, my answer to this question is, yes, it's okay to appreciate someone's art while not supporting what they've done as a person, and in fact I do it all the time. An argument which many people have a hard time wrapping their heads around, but at the end of the day, it's okay to enjoy art from someone who you consider to be bad. I know this is an extreme example, but good old Adolf is an awful person, yes, but I actually think his paintings are very good. Does this make me a National Socialist who hates Jewish people? No, of course not, that's ridiculous. But that argument only applies when the content can be actually separated from the creator. In this case, the content is a vlog, and the videos are so integral to who they are as people that I don't see it as morally sound to watch their videos, because the videos themselves are just a condensed version of Mike and Heather, and all of the abuse that goes along with it is part of who they are. And if you continue to watch their content and support what they are doing here, then at the end of the day, you're supporting child abuse, whether you like it or not. Although I have a feeling that many of the Daddio fan base either chooses to ignore the child abuse and downplay it, or they get some sort of twisted amusement out of watching it happen. One of the things that really perplexed me about this situation is the question of why Mike and Heather would even attempt to come back to YouTube. Considering the amount of videos that were made about them, the amount of people rallying against them and rooting for their channel to be taken down and for them to lose custody of their children, why would they even attempt to come back to YouTube? Well, I think the answer is kind of simple. Mike is stupid. Like he's really, really, really dumb.
I understand how everyone feels. I acknowledge and I respect how everyone feels. It would have never got this out of hand if it wasn't for that De Franco guy.
I can't even describe how sophisticated he is, or maybe he's actually a psychopathic mastermind.
Egg, mushroom, onion, sandwich.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm kidding. I mean, he is dumb, but I do think that he goes a lot deeper than that. Mike and Heather had that taste of YouTube fame, even if just for a little while. They knew how it felt to be internet famous. They had almost 1 million subscribers. They had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views on every single video, thousands of Twitter and Instagram followers, Facebook accounts with thousands of followers, and all of a sudden, pretty much all of that positive attention that was there just turned negative and finally disappeared in a violent explosion. And honestly, I think they're sort of addicted to it in a way. It's one of those things where once you get a taste, you'll do whatever it takes to get it back, and apparently to these guys that means making a social media account on every site known to man, reorganizing the few idiotic fans that they have left to support them, and trying to rebuild their broken empire. But it can't be fixed, and I don't think that anyone will ever forget. Hell, I don't want them to forget what they did. Normally when a YouTuber makes a mistake and apologizes, it's like, whatever, it's fine, I'm glad that they came out and apologized. I, personally, and a lot of other people, are happy to see YouTubers admit their mistakes and faults and reflect on the past and say, hey, I did something bad then, and you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that, I'm sorry guys, I'll try to do better in the future. It's always good to see a YouTuber come out and admit something that they did wrong. Honestly, it shows maturity. But not only did they do something pretty unforgivable, being profiting off of the harm and suffering of children, but they also clearly don't give a shit, at least in Mike's case. I mean, how can he not see what was happening and what he was doing? At least in retrospect, he should have been able to see what was going on, but instead he is either in denial of any wrongdoing, hence why in every video he constantly denies doing anything wrong and seems to have been able to convince the kids that nothing bad happened, or he genuinely believes that what he was doing was just a part of being a good parent and that he was doing an apt job of raising his kids. And honestly, I don't know which one's worse. They've consistently shown that they aren't responsible enough to handle having children, and I'm surprised that they were allowed to keep any of the kids. Never mind Cody. But in the end, there is something good that came out of the situation. I mean, the kid has been put back in the custody of his rightful parents, he's no longer being harmed, and the YouTube community actually made a real difference in bringing attention to this situation, taking it from channels with a few 100,000 subscribers to being on national TV and being seen by millions of people across the country and the world. And if anything, this just validates that in some ways, commentary channels and YouTube do actually have a lot of real influence over the world, and all of the bickering and hit piece videos aren't for nothing. Some real good came out of this awful situation. Pretty inspiring stuff if you ask me. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, don't violently abuse your children in the hopes of making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of posting videos of their abuse online and subsequently making shit apologies where you clearly are just spewing bullshit that people want to hear to forgive you. Bye.
Hit me!
Girls look better in a real tight sweater. 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 Tight sweater, tight sweater, tight sweater, tight sweater, tight sweater. Girls look better look better in a real tight sweater. Tamino on the mic, make the pussy much wetter. Try to get the girls, call the guy go-getter. Tight jeans, a Converse sneakers, a tight sweater. No cheddar, go home and I wrote letters to college center, so my financial aid's better. You better dead her, yo that girl's going crazy. She got a twinkle in her eye, like she wants to have a baby. Maybe I should call her up on a Saturday.